Hey, Jojo Kilimanjaro here. My new book, Rumba Evolution, is now on Amazon, print and ebook. Get it. We'll be talking about this book. And also, I have a very special guest with me here. I'm in his office, Mr. Tabu Osusa. I'm going to get to him because he has some very interesting knowledge with him that we're going to try and get it out of him. Rumba Evolution, from Africa to the world and back home, is about the origins of Congolese rumba music, how it was taken to Cuba on slave ships, and then became popular around the world and came back to Congo, and then spread again to the world. But I want to focus mostly on how it got to Kenya and what happened when it got there. And this is early 70s. And one of the people who was there when the first wave of Congolese musicians hit Kenya is Mr. Tabu Osusa himself. And I'm with him today, very honored and privileged. How are you today?
I'm good, Jojo. Thank you, and it's a pleasure to join you in your program at my office.
At your office? Yes.
So, karibu.
Asante sana.
Yeah, and I think you have done a good job by writing Rumba Evolution, because I remember I've also doing my little research and a book also known as Shades of Benga.
Yes. It's right there.
It's right there, Shades of Benga. Although the title sometimes is taken out of context, because the book doesn't not just talk about Benga, but Benga is the dominant genre of music in Kenya.
See, that's the thing.
I think in East Africa.
Yeah. I use rumba, but it's not all about rumba here.
Right.
Okay.
Right, yes.
So it's early 70s, and the Congolese get here because while Mobutu supported the art back there, he messed up the economy. So some of the musicians had to flee to look for greener pastures, right?
Correct.
So some of them end up in Kenya.
In Nairobi.
And when they land in Nairobi, which is the capital of Kenya, what is going on at that time in terms of Kenyan music?
Yeah, you had mentioned that that was like the first wave of Congolese music, but I think it is the second wave, because the first wave was much earlier in the late 50s by people like Jean Bosco Mwenda and Edward Masengo, people like Pascal Onema, the OS Jazz, as they were playing in the Starlight Club. But you're right, when you talk about the second wave, where we had bands like Mangelepa, Super Mazembe,
Virunga,
of course,
which you were
Virunga, yeah. Before Virunga there was Likinua, and then of course Virunga of Samba Mapangala, whom I think probably was the most successful Congolese musician in Kenya.
I share your views on that.
Yes.
I share your views.
So when they arrived, there were musicians here. I mean, there was Kenyan rumba going on. I mean, bands like the Howdy Boys. The Cavaliers, who later became the Mighty Cavaliers.
The Mighty Cavaliers. So they added to the band.
Yeah, they added to the fan of rumba fan. And so I think music was very vibrant in the 70s. Like mid 70s and to the 80s. Of course, Orchestra Lenoir. I remember we had mentioned that earlier on, was also here.
Yes, Lenoir.
But even before Lenoir, I think maybe the father of Congolese music in Kenya or East Africa, but then was Baba Gaston.
Ilunga wa Ilunga. Ilunga wa Ilunga.
He was larger than life, He was a great guy,
Yeah.
So I think the music was good. So there was a healthy competition. Yes.
Including a lot of Benga.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course, the Dio Missianis,
yes.
Victoria Jazz, Kilimambogo Brothers, and all that. So, I mean, you name it. It was what I call the golden era of Kenyan music. Be it Benga, be it rumba, or even when reggae was just starting by that time, urban music. You remember that time when, we have groups like the Mushrooms,
right,
and stuff. So it was the golden era of Kenyan music, or East African music as a whole.
Yeah, okay. Before we go on, just tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you're an author, You have books here, and I will share the titles with you. But tell us a little bit about it, because you have a very interesting history.
Yeah, no, when you go online, I mean, I'm described as an author, but really, I'm a music producer. And I started writing about Kenyan music because there was a vacuum. Like, nobody wanted to tell the story. So, and I believe that...
that's really interesting, because when I was doing research on my book, I had a tough time, finding information on very popular Kenyan musicians.
Yes, the same. Like even just getting old music, getting old photographs of musicians, nothing.
Oh,
anyway, you go to, you get stories about politicians.
Yes.
But just about musicians, nothing.
It's not there.
Yeah.
It's not there.
And that's very sad, because that's what makes... Kenyan music kind of disappear.
Yeah.
There's a big, gap generational gap between the guys of our generation and the current generation.
Yeah, but you are also a musician.
Yes, though I don't think I excelled as a musician. I started as a musician, but I ended up as a manager.
As a manager?
Because I was with the Samba Mapangala. I founded Virunga, and of course, also with us was Fataki Lokasa, the late Fataki Lokasa.
Right.
So I was more of a manager. I decided that since maybe I'm not such a great singer, I can realize my dreams through supporting the music industry.
And you loved music. You're passionate
I still love music, because when talking about rumba, I lived in Congo for some years in the early 70s. In fact, it's while I was in Congo, it's when I was told that when you go back to Kenya, Nairobi, your country, you will find a great gentleman by the name of Samba Mapangala. And when I came back in 1970, late 77, 78, I met Samba Mapangala. And that's how we bonded, became friends.
And you're still friends?
And we're still very good
And now
friends.
we are mutual friends.
And now we are mutual friends.
Yeah. So in my book, there's a chapter where I just dwell on what happened to Kenyan music. I call it Kenya's disconnected music history. And in that chapter, I try to explore, okay, and really try to find out what happened to Kenyan music, because before, let's say, the 80s.
Yes.
We had musicians who were world-class caliber.
True.
We had world-class studios here.
Yes.
And we had the only vinyl pressing plant, Polygram, here.
Yeah, there was Polygram, and then also there was also Sapra. And of course, Polygram was a good studio. We had CBS. We had EMI. I mean, those were all multinational record labels were here.
And we also had a lot of homegrown music labels. Oyundi, Sungura,
and that was
Kanindo.
Thanks to Oloch Kanindo. I mean, of course, Kanindo really promoted so much of our music, like especially Benga music. And right now, unfortunately, Benga is not so much known within Kenya or East Africa. Yet in Zimbabwe, they play the same sound of Benga. They took it from Kenya. They call it Sungura
or Kanindo music.
Or Kanindo music.
Right.
Yes.
And I see that the younger folks, younger artists or musicians, whatever you want to call it, actually producing the music there.
Right.
So they kept going with it. And so why
they ran away with it.
They ran away with it.
Yeah.
And then at some point, our music was disconnected.
Yes.
So the music that we would call Kenyan music got disconnected from what we might call modern music or modern era music or new generation music or urban music.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
What happened?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's the $1 million question, because the disconnect happened, I think, around 1985, when the multinational record labels departed. And then there was chaos now in the country when it came to music. There was no proper recording facilities. Everybody was doing their own thing.
And then piracy too.
And the piracy, of course.
Yeah.
And then the generation, the young guys, instead of now taking our Benga or Chakacha or Mutibo or Momboko to another level, they abandoned it.
And
they started now copying other music altogether.
Yeah, but I discuss a bit about that in the book, but I blame the government a lot.
Of course, I do blame the government too.
Because in Congo, Mobutu, with all his wickedness, supported local music and art.
Yes.
Nyerere did.
Sure.
But we did not. So growing up, VOK, which became KBC, all I heard of, all I was hearing was Congolese, Tanzanian music.
Yes.
And then the English service, it was just Western music.
Yes.
So while it was actually a government-owned station, it did not play Kenyan music.
You are so right, Jojo. Because the government is to be blamed because they didn't give us proper roadmap or policies to guide our music.
Right.
You see, remember, like we didn't have good role models. You see, like during Mzee Kenyatta one, first term. I think all we were hearing were those those traditional Nyakinywa traditional women group.
Right.
That's what he was supporting. Then Moe just choral music. Nobody wanted to do our own nice contemporary music or traditional music.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And I believe that is the main reason why Kenyan music is suffering internationally. It is disconnected from the culture.
It is. Right now, it does not have an identity.
It doesn't have an identity. I don't care what kind of music you're doing. You have to represent where you're from.
Correct.
And Kenyan urban music, quote unquote, that is kind of amorphous.
It is. Right now, you don't even know what is what. I mean, I remember I was talking to you earlier, Jojo, was talking about like Nigerian music that started with traditional music like Juju, and then people like Fela brought it to Afrobeat. The young generation now brought Afrobeats, Afropop.
Yes.
So you can see
there's that foundation and continuity.
Continuity and foundation. And even if you go down to South Africa, it's the same thing.
And Tanzania is the same thing.
Yes. I mean,
but
like
we got lost.
Like even in Ghana, you remember High Life.
High Life.
Then later on, the young guys came with Hip Life.
Yes.
You see?
But we didn't come up with anything that was connected with Benga.
Yes.
Or with our Rumba.
Or Rumba, yes.
Or with twist
correct.
You know?
Yeah, it's really sad. Even
it's Kuti.
Yeah, exactly. So you remember I was telling you earlier, just going back to repeat myself.
Yeah.
Even South Africa.
Yeah.
They had Bakanga, they had Kwaito, then they had house music, now they have Amapiano. And you can see how it's developing.
Yeah.
Us, we don't have anything.
We don't have it.
Yeah.
We don't have it.
Which is very sad because we have great musicians.
Yes.
That I must
great
admit.
talent we have.
Yes. But what we are lacking is the uniqueness. Because I keep on saying that it's not how good you are, it's how different you are.
How different you are.
What do you bring to the table? Because if the Nigerians are bringing their Afrobeats, and then the South Africans are bringing their Amapiano,
Tanzanians are bringing their bongo. What are we bringing?
What are we bringing?
Gengeton.
I don't even know exactly what it is. We have fantastic names like Gengeton, but what genre exactly is it? Was it derived from Benga? Was it derived from Tarab? Was it derived from... Because those are the kind of music we knew. Was it derived from Mutibo?
Those are the questions.
Gengeton came from what?
That's the thing.
Yeah, I know. I love it. It's good. I listen to it. But it's just generic music.
So for people like us, Kenyans in the diaspora, when we miss home.
Yes.
And if it's music, we are looking for music that represents home.
Right.
We don't get it.
Yep.
So imagine now other people who are looking for Kenyan music. Now they see Kenyan musicians or artists wearing New York t-shirts, Chicago, LA or Lakers. What, you know, LA does not need their representation or support because it has its representation.
Exactly.
So when you're a musician and you're trying to represent somebody else without even knowing, you're just killing yourself.
No, I know. It's a waste of time. I mean, like you see, I know as the young generation, we want to say that the world is a village.
Yeah.
Yes. And me, I agree with that. The world, I mean, it's one big market. As the Nigerians bring their Afrobeats to the market, we should also bring our Benga and sell it to this market.
Yes.
We cannot just be consumers of other people's music.
Same happens to reggae.
Exactly.
There's so many reggae consumers here.
Yes.
We don't have our own reggae superstars.
Exactly.
That's a big problem.
Yeah. So even when it comes to reggae or hip hop, I love all this stuff. But if I expect any Kenyan doing hip hop to make it their own.
Their own.
To bring Kenyan identity.
Or if it's reggae, make it their own, like
yeah,
Dube.
exactly.
So
take,
to the young,
take it and own it.
yes. So to the young people now, Tabu.
Yes.
What do you want to tell them? You know, African culture, we respect elders, or we are supposed to respect elders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we took advice from elders.
Yes.
That also seems to have disappeared.
Yes.
You're just an old guy who doesn't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
Look in that camera.
Mm-hmm.
With all your experience,
Yep.
you've been around when Kenyan music was the top.
They are the golden era of Kenyan music.
Golden era of Kenyan music,
Yes.
where everything studios, everything was run by Kenyans.
Yes.
Look in that camera and give a piece of advice to the young guys, women,
Right.
now.
I think what I can tell the young generation, Kenyans and or East Africans, that what they should strive to be themselves. In Kenya, we have got a lot of diverse music traditions, which is very good. So we have benga, like if you want to do hip hop, benga is very good for hip hop. If you want to do jazz, we have got tarab, which is very slow and very jazzy, or momboko. So take what we have, not play it the way it was done in the 70s or the 80s. Take it to another level. And for you to do that, know your roots, know who was there before you, know the musicians that we had before, the Fudi Kondes, the Daudi Kabakas, the George Mukabis, the Dio Misianis, they're all there. Know the history, know their music, and then take their music to now. Take it to another level. Bring it to up to date. I think that's what I can tell them.
And you need to know that Daudi Kabaka was a Kenyan superstar. His music was all over the country. It was not tribal or anything. He was a Kenyan superstar. There's a lot of people for you to sample.
Correct. There's so many. Daudi Kabaka, John Zenze. In fact, actually, I'm writing another book on John Zenze.
See, look at that.
And it's being called The Last King of the African Twist.
Look at that.
Yeah,
look at
because,
that.
I believe that for the young generation to know, they should go ahead and read your book, Rumba Evolution, read my book, so that they can know what was there before them.
Right.
Then
run with that.
Exactly.
Take that and run. So we have Shades of Benga.
Right.
That's available in the stores, right?
It's available in the stores, yes.
Buy the book and read. You will know where Kenyan music came from. You know what the roots are. And also, Tabu has done this. He's taken a lot of time to do research.
Yes.
We have Kenya's funky hits.
Yeah.
We have
Retracing
Kikuyu popular music.
Right.
We have retracing the Benga rhythm.
Yes.
This is Kenyan music. Take this and run with it. Remember, Rumba Evolution is on Amazon too. All right?
It's a beautiful book. And Jojo.
Tabu Osusa.
Thanks, my brother.
Jojo.
Thanks so much.
Saying bye and thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right.
Yeah.
Cut.
Nice.